Good morning, friends. I was going to say virtual friends, but it's all the same. We can become. Most of my work in the world is done over the phone. So I do energy healing work with people all over the place. Night before last was Finland. I was working with somebody in Finland, and it just doesn't matter because when you're working with energy, you're working with energy, and you're working with energy, and I'm working with energy. And I get paid for it some of the time. And some of the time, if I looked at this session and I'm going to just, yeah, a healing session the other day where I mentioned a person named Connie um, as, working with these energies because of her. And so I was actually creating a session online kind of for her to work with. And then I ended up having a session with her. And I said, well, you still may want to go back and watch the video on the healing session I did for you. And she said that it was really helpful. Hmm. But sometimes it's unusual. But my sessions are set up for an hour to an hour and a half to go back to an event, clear the event, and then maybe there's some ramifications of clearing the energy of the event where our body goes through things for a period of time, maybe part of a day, maybe a few days. But there's some energetics of some events that I actually have to hold the space for a person for a number of days. And in this is Tuesday. So in this case, 4 days. 3.5 days. And those energies are pretty clear. But if you think about that, I'm helping a person work with a particular situation for 3.5 days. When you figure it by the hour, I'm not making much money. But when it gets to the point in your life where it's not about making money, it's about assisting change. And if you have money come to you through assisting change, that's part of that flow of energy. But the focus isn't about making money. And it never was for me. That's why I need to keep making money, because it was never about making money. It was all about assisting change. Now, if I can just find a dentist whose consciousness is about assisting change and they don't feel like they have to make a tremendous amount of money to assist change. It's different for everybody. If it's true that my relationships with my um, housemates and my clients and the people I meet in the world is any indication, and my friends on YouTube is any indication of the state of the world. The state of the world, from my perception, would be fairly intense. Like the world right now seems like people are working with a lot. And so anything that I can do to assist you to work with that a lot and to help you calm down your nerve system. And the reason I don't call it a nervous system, because it makes me nervous to call it that. So I call it a nerve system, which doesn't make me nervous. The word nervous tends to make me nervous, and the word nerve tends to make me calm. Like in the road, there might be a little turn in the road, might be called a swerve. And you go through it at a good speed and you just make it through that turn or that curve. And you don't swerve. Language is powerful. Safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective. We heard that language for a long period of time. Now, many scientists said it was safe and effective, and many more scientists said it wasn't. And the ones who said it wasn't were somehow eliminated. And the ones who said it was were encouraged to keep saying it's safe and effective. And whether or not anything is anything, I would just say, for the number of lawsuits that pharmaceutical companies have to deal with every day, what they say about their product and what's true about their product aren't always the same things. So my recommendation is think for yourself in all circumstances. No matter what I tell you, don't take it on in your head as true. Experience it, embody it, and if it's true for you, then it's true for you. And if it's also proven to be true for me, that's my experience. But when you experience it and it becomes true for you, then it's our experience. But it's not our experience because I tell you safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective. I mean, it might be because that's a hypnotic program. So maybe a lot of people had the experience of it being safe and effective, whatever that experience would be. And others maybe didn't take it in thoroughly enough, so it ended up not seeming safe and effective for them. But it's all language. It's all working with language. It's working with your thoughts. It's working with your thoughts relative to other people's thoughts. So my perception of reality is that the world is telling you to be afraid, to be afraid, to be afraid. This has happened many times. And we're in a major time of transition, which is enough to bring up some fear, concern, a little bit of anxiety. Just the fact that we're in apparently such a large transition in the world, it can bring these things to the surface. How do we work with it in a way that is useful and effective, useful and effective, useful and effective? See, I can say the words 3 times, and then it can be a spell. But it's your experience that I'm encouraging you to have, where you find things useful and effective. And I would love for you to find that place within yourself that feels safe. And this may not be the place within you that feels safe. This may be the place within you that feels panicky. That's fine. It's not fine that you feel panicky. It's fine that you know the place within you where you feel the panic. And if this is the place, which it is for many people right now, it doesn't need to be for you, but if it is for you, it may actually help you to know that many, many people are feeling this panicky energy, and it's affecting this area right in through here. This area right in through here relates to the vertebra, because I'm a chiropractor and I studied these things. So I'm safe and effective. Maybe insane and dysfunctional also, which are words. But what is sanity? And I'm looking at you and I'm saying, what is sanity? and then I'm going to give you the answer. It'll only be true for you if you embody it. The way to be sane is to learn to regulate your nerve system. One way to regulate it is quit calling it your nervous system. It is giving a subconscious message that you be nervous. So let go of the term nervous system and take on the term nerve system. There's a curve in your road, there's a curve in your spine. If you're driving at a functional, for you, speed, depending on the weather, depending on your state of mind, you're not on your phone or you're not texting while driving, what is creating safety for you and all those around you when you're driving a vehicle? Because if you think about it, you're driving this vehicle, which is, depending on whether you have electric or gas, the gas vehicles are propelled by constant explosions. Maybe you never thought about that, but just so you know, if you're driving a gas-powered vehicle, there are these explosions taking place inside your motor continuously, which are causing your pistons to go up and down, or round if you have that type of vehicle, but up and down mainly, or side to side, whatever, which causes these gears to in your transmission, gears and transmission and front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. It causes tires to turn, and it propels you forward or backwards. So you get around, if you're a driver of a gas-powered vehicle, you get around by initiating controlled explosions. And I'm willing to do it. And I don't have a lot of comfort around gas-powered motors. Little ones, big ones, car ones, lawnmower ones. I don't have a lot of trust working with something that's quite as flammable as alcohol. But the majority of times it works just fine. So we can get in our vehicle, we can start it, we can put it in gear, we can go places, we can come back from those places, and it all works out fine. Or maybe we're in a beep, beep, beep electric vehicle, and you go and you come back, and it's just fine. But if you're dealing with a nervous system because you have in some way, they've gotten you addicted to the news, and the news are offered to you from a program to give you a particular aspect of the news. I'm trying to make my fingers straight, but I can't do it. You're given a particular aspect of the news to get you to think in a particular way. So it might get you to think as a this or a that. And so the this and the that argue with each other based on what they've taken into their heads based on the news. So I can argue with you about what I've taken in my head from the news, or I can discuss with you what I have embodied in my experience and can share with you what I found to be effective, maybe safe for me to consider. And maybe I found a way to effectively consider those things. So now we might be shifting the meaning of safe and effective from words that were taken and maybe misrepresented, we don't know, but possibly, by drug dealers and their employees, which are referred to as government officials. And I think we're all going to be finding out that all these people all of them, have been on the take for a very long time to major corporations that are controlling the world, not necessarily for the benefit of the individuals in that world, but for the benefit of the corporations at the top and the money they can make from the individuals in the world. So there's all sorts of things that can be going on. And in my greater paranoid days, I had all sorts of things that I would say are now seemingly coming out. I've been talking about these things for 40 years, and I finally realized that I wasn't necessarily being helpful by talking about things that were making people more fearful. And so I now choose to talk about things that possibly help people to be more resourceful. And now I see that I've been talking for, 15 minutes, 16 minutes, and I've said a lot of things. I'm not certain whether any of them are particularly useful, but I'll let you decide that. I may just go ahead and post this. Possibly you may want to connect with your deep self. State out loud, I connect with my deep self. Feel what you feel. Connect with my higher self. Feel what you feel. Connect with my highest self. Feel what you feel. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. I release anything no longer useful to me now. And if you choose to work with the seventh dimensional beings, the Hathors, you can say, I choose to work with the Hathors. And I ask that we all, anyone doing this work, be placed in a field of protection as we do this work. And I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And invite all the souls affected by this event to return to the event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. And I suggest to all the souls returning to the events that they have their bodies that they live in ground themselves into the healing center of the earth while they do the work on a soul level at the event. And upon arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. Okay, that's the healing event for today. I put it at the end of kind of the diatribe, but I kept it under 20 minutes, and I have my ancestral healing code course to log into in 9 minutes. So I'll see if I can get this uploading, and I can see if I can upload a video and be interacting with the nerve system of the world at the same time through my course in ancestral healing codes. All right. Namasko. And as Deb added on, Namasko change. And I love it, so I'm going to use it. Blessings to you, and may we all do our best to regulate our nerve systems during times of change.